In this tutorial, we're going to run through how to make the laser cut name tag. First thing that you'll want to do is go to the website that's listed on your plan and download the file. I already have it pulled up here, and what this does is gives us a template where our layers are already set up, and all we need to do is change some font. So this is a good first project for us. First thing I want to do is make sure that my check mark is in the raster layer right here, because that's what I'm going to be changing is the text. So I'm going to highlight the text on here and hit the delete button. Now I'm going to add some of my own. To do that, we type text object. In this case, it auto-populated for me, and hit enter. I'm going to change mine to say Banks Braves. So I type in Banks, and I need to click or find the font that I want. One of the nice things is that I can just click on it and I can use the up and down arrow keys, and it shows me what it's going to look like. I like that one right there. You can do bold or you can do italics. You can play with those and see what you like. Then we want to make sure that we have curves selected and group objects. And for starters, we're going to set our text height to 0.5 inches. We can adjust that up or down if we need to once we get our text actually on our tag. So we've typed what we want. We've picked the correct font, whether we want bold or italics, curves selected, group objects, ½ inch, hit OK. Now that we've done that, we can place our text wherever we want it. We can still move it side to side, up or down. We can scale it if we need to. If it's not the right size, highlight it, type scale. And then we can make it bigger, we can make it smaller, whatever we need to do. So I'm going to add Braves. I'm going to do the same thing again, text object. It auto-populates, hit enter. This time I'm going to type in Braves. The settings that I had before should still be here. So same font, bold and italics are not selected because I didn't use those last time. Curves, group objects, ½ inch. Hit OK, and we're going to place that. Now we can do some different things here if we want. If I want to make sure that I have these two aligned, I can highlight both of those. I can type align, click on horizontal center. Whoops, wrong one. Let's undo, Control Z. Sorry, align, vertical center, hit OK, and then it moves those so that those two are aligned however I want them. Again, I can still scale, I can move those whatever I want to do. Now, if I want it to be filled in, like our Braves logo over here, I have to highlight both of them. So I click on one, then hold Shift and click the next one, and type Hatch, H-A-T-C-H, and hit enter. What that's going to do is fill it in so that when the laser engraves this, it engraves all the way through. If we don't hatch it, it's just going to engrave the lines on the outside. So once we're happy with how this looks, we're going to go into our print menu. We can either click the print button up here in the toolbar, or we can go to File and Print. Doesn't matter, either way takes you to the same thing. Once we're in here, we want to make sure we have Epilog Engraver Zing selected. We should be in landscape mode. We want vector output. We want print color. And if we keep scrolling down, we want to make sure we're working in the top viewport and that we have extents selected. For the scale, we want to be at 1:1. That'll make it actual size. And then here in the margins, this is where we may make some changes based on our material. If we're using a fresh sheet, never been used, then I would set the top and the left margin to 0.15. If we've already had something cut out, we may need to change that to move this around on the screen. So you can use the rulers on the laser to figure out where you need to put that at. This is a fresh one, fresh sheet, so I'm going to do 0.15 on each. If it ends up in a different place, check here under position. If centered is selected, it's going to put it right in the middle. Or sometimes it will, one of these will get selected and it'll be in a weird place, and I'm thinking, why is it not up here at 0, 0? All we have to do is come and check. I normally have it start at the upper left because that's where 0 and 0 are on the ruler. Rest of the stuff down here we shouldn't have to worry about. So once we have that in the right place, extent selected, one-to-one, top viewport, etc., we're going to go to properties. This is where we're going to set up the laser and tell it what power and what speed we want. We want to make sure that send to manager is unselected. Make sure that under job type we have combined, so it will do both raster and vector. Our material size should be 16 inches by 12 inches because that's the cutting area of the laser. Here under raster settings, since I'm working with plywood, I want 50% speed and 50% power. We can adjust these either with this little slider, we can use the plus or the minus, or we can actually click on there and type it in. Any of those three ways works. Under vector setting, I want speed to be at 65, power to be at 85, and frequency to be at 500. You'll want to adjust these if you're using something else like acrylic or leather or some other type of material. But for the plywood that we're using, these are the settings that we want. Once that's all set, we're going to hit OK. And what that will do is send it to the laser. At this time, we want to turn the laser on. We want to make sure that we have it focused and that we have the filter on. Then when we're ready, we can hit print. That will send it to the laser. Once focus is good, once the filter is on, then we can go ahead and hit go on the laser and it will engrave and then cut this out.